Welcome to the Lost Artistry Lash YouTube channel. I'm Caitlin Elford and I am the owner of lash brand Lost Artistry Lash based out of Canada. And today I'm going to walk you through my unique styling for my client, Reese, who actually happens to be one of my good friends. So I'm going to run you through my layering technique and my mapping that I use to create this very unique colored lash set. For this lash set, from the front, with her eyes open, you can't even tell that she has color. But when she looks down, her lashes are beautifully green. So I'm gonna show you exactly how I made that come to life. Before I jump into all the juicy mapping and styling details, go ahead, subscribe, like this video, and ring that bell so that you're always notified when we come out with fresh new lash videos. First, let's go ahead and take a look at Reese's lash set for just a second. As you can see from this video, that when she opens her eyes, her lashes look totally dark. You may on certain angles see just a little flicker of that color come through, but you'll only notice that on certain angles. So the cool thing about this lash set is that if, say, our client really wants their eye color to pop, but they're not really into the colors situation, then this is the perfect map for that client. We're gonna make that eye color pop, but without even noticing why or how that's happening. So take a look at my iPad here. What I've done is broken my layers into 3 sections. Before I even dive into that though, this app, if you're wondering, is called Procreate. It's awesome. You can map all your clients out on here. You can even take a lash photo that they send you of their eyes, throw it in the app, and then you can draw mappings on their photo, which is super ideal for planning out sets before you even see your client. Saves on consultation time during your services. Anyways, I've broken my map out into 3 sections. You can see here, I have my layer 1, my layer 2, and my layer 3. My layer 1 is going to be the top layer. So what layer that is from our point of view while we're working, if we're sitting behind our client and looking down on the lashes, then the layer we're talking about is the layer that sits closest to us while we're working with their eyes closed. So that's our top layer for this example. Next, we have our middle layer and our bottom layer. But first I want to talk about that top and bottom layer because these layers are the most important, without a doubt. So my plan was to make it so there was a unique lash set on the top layer that no one could see, and then another unique mapping for the bottom layer that really complemented her eye shape. So I really pretended while I was lashing that I was actually doing, say, 2 separate eyes. First thing I did was get that top layer out of the way. So we actually have this Lost Artistry Lash colored volume lash tray, which is what I used for this set. So I only used the green, but you could have gone with many other options. It's really fun to have this on hand because you can either just put a pop of color in your set, or you can go crazy and make rainbow lashes if you wanted. Anyways, I used this tray in 0.07 diameter volume lashes and created my volume lash fans to be on the wider side for this set. So if you're working with pre-fans, absolutely fine. You just want to work with your short stem instead of your long stem. I'll explain why in just a moment. So for that top layer, because I didn't want the green lashes to be noticeable with the eye open, I wanted to work with much shorter lash lengths. So I worked with 7, 8, 9, 10, and then back down to 9 on the top layer. That way, I made sure that when I worked on my bottom layer, that the bottom layer was gonna actually sit much higher than the top layer. You have to be really careful. You don't want to do the same lengths on the top and bottom layer and put your color on the top unless you want it to be noticeable. Here's why. So because our bottom layer, the one that's closest to the eye, sits so much lower than the top layer, then if you use the same millimeter length on the top layer as the bottom layer, the top layer is going to actually sit quite a few millimeters higher than that bottom layer. So be very cautious of that when working with any lash set. The top layer will always look longer than the bottom layer if it's the same millimeter length that is used. So in order to make that bottom layer cover the top layer, what I did was work with lengths much longer. So I used 10 millimeter on the top layer as we've already discussed, and let's look into the same section on the bottom layer. On the bottom layer in the same section, I worked with 14 and 13 millimeter lengths. So that gave me a good 3 to 4 millimeters longer to cover that top layer up, which works really well in this case. And then moving down the eye, I worked from 14 all the way down to 8 millimeters, breaking my section into parts along the way. I did work with a squirrel map throughout the whole eye, but my sections, as you can see, were much bigger on the top layer and much smaller on the bottom layer. Why? That's because the bottom layer is what actually gave me the shape, and we always see the shape with our client's eyes open. So as I said, I really planned that bottom layer out to suit my client, and I used much shorter lengths on the top just to be hidden away. And then to work on the middle layer, all I did was bump down my millimeters by just 1 millimeter per section. So you can see here on my bottom layer, I worked with 14. But in the same section on the middle layer, I worked with 13 millimeter. Reason why I did that was because I wasn't going for a super textured lash set today. I was going for more of a soft line, as you can see in the photo. And by working this way and bumping my length down 1 millimeter in the middle layer, then that meant that my middle and my bottom layer were gonna sit at the same point on the top. Why, you might ask? Well, because if you think about your layers, your bottom layer sits about 1 millimeter lower than your middle layer on the lash line. So if you use 1 millimeter shorter in the middle, chances are it's gonna meet up really nicely at the top. So that's how I planned out my set today. I did work with all C-curl. The reason why I worked with C-curl is just because Reese has quite a lot of lift on her lashes already, and she also has a pretty pronounced brow bone, so I didn't want to use anything too crazy when it came to curls because I didn't want to hit that brow bone above her eye. So that is how I planned my set out today. And to make it come to life, the Lost Artistry Lash products that I used are, as I talked about, our rainbow tray. I worked with our volume lashes, 0.07 C-curl. And then I also worked with our short stem pro fans. Now you probably are thinking, why would you work with handmade volume and pro-made volume? Well, when I'm going for 100% coverage on any lash set, it can take a really long time. And no matter who you are, even if you're a super seasoned handmade artist, you're gonna be a little bit slower with your handmaids than you will be with pro-maids. So what I do is I do about 50% of my set in handmaids, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the day and the client and how much time I have. And then the other half with pro-made. I just like doing handmaids. You can do all your set in pro-maids, or alternatively, you can do your whole set in handmaids. It's totally up to you. But anyways, for this set, I worked with anywhere from 3D to 60 in 0.07 diameter. And for my pro fans, I use 3D, 4D, and 5D. And then handmaids, depending on the lash I was working on, I could have used any of these dimensions. That's another thing to quickly note. You can use many different dimensions within one lash set. The goal is to pick a perfect dimension and diameter lash fan to suit whatever lash you've just isolated. And every client is going to have many different size and strengths of natural lashes within their lash set. So that's really important. Mixing dimensions, no matter what product you're using, is one of the best things that you can do. I won't get into all the products that I use, but I do have to talk about the glue, because when I worked with my colored lash fans, I worked with our Lost Artistry Lash Invisibond glue. Reason why I worked with Invisibond is simply because it's clear. So when I work with colored lashes of any sort, I like to work with a clear glue. And then to create my volume fans and for my pre-made fans as well, I used our Lost Artistry Lash Slim Boot Tweezer. This is my absolute favorite tweezer, and I do find that every student that I train also seems to love this tweezer, so it's widely known as an incredible volume tweezer. Also has this really cute little hippo on it, just an added bonus. But It's so nice because even if you're someone who has carpal tunnel issues or just hand or wrist pain, then it doesn't take a lot of tension to really close that tweezer all the way. It has a really wide sweet spot and it's a very sturdy tweezer. So if you are looking for a tweezer that is not super hard to use, this Grip-O-Potamus Slim Boot Tweezer, by us obviously, Lost Artistry, is a great option. So that's where my thought process was when I was creating this super unique volume set. Please check out the before and after and let me know what you think of this set in the comments below.